Welcome to Showstopper TV, and I'm happy to bring you all the Showstopper news. And today we're going ahead and welcome our gentleman into the office. Today we have Katt Williams, Curtis, known as 50 Cent. We have Country as Steve, Sidekick Cedric, who doesn't have anything to do with it, but he's always seen with Steve, so he's just going to be in the story today. My homeboy Bernie Mac, RP to another ancestor. We have, Steve Harvey's ex. We also have Kevin Hart's and his ex. And we have Kim Porter, RIP to Homegirl, her book. And we also have Cassidy stepping in the office. And again, Katt Williams. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get this story popping. As we've been hearing about, Katt Williams and what he has to say, and a lot of things he has to say is very important, especially to the hip hop world, comedy world, entertainment world, because he has been part of that world for a very long time. So let's go ahead and get into it. The takedown comes from, let's start with Steve. Steve Harvey, his country behind, and Cedric, because he's a sidekick. Steve called Bernie not too cute, making fun of him, saying that he wasn't going to be very successful because he was very black and not as, light and bright as Steve, didn't have them big lips. And he just didn't think Bernie was cute, and funny. But everybody know Bernie is close to Jesus when it comes to funny. God is first and then it's Bernie, so, that's how it felt to me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would definitely agree with that. So, but Bernie was also a star. So he went on to make numerous movies, become one of the award-winning for his movies, TV, comedy, and king of comedy. He Wesley was, and still very much is loved, missed, and cared, and still funny. Then we have Steve. Steve's ex-wife comes to many to tell many about. Wait, Steve come out many times saying how Steve was, at the relationship, beginning of the relationship, he was broke. He didn't have that many ideas. She gave him most of these ideas that he's soon to create, as the kings of comedy. She says that, once he messed around and got the money, because he's with that girl and the lady who was with the drug dealer and used her daughter as a pawn, Marjorie, allegedly. So, and also Steve, says that he never wanted to be a movie star. That's what Katt Williams kept on saying. Steve said he didn't want to be a star, but okay, Steve, we understand. He had a Steve Harvey show. It was cool, but it wasn't Bernie Mac. It was never Bernie. And he got comedy shows. He's a very good hustler. He always on radio, good man, in certain ways. And he just, Steve's gonna be Steve. Moving on, we have Kevin Hart. He also was on BT late night movies. He was invited once again to the Diddy party, and all of a sudden he was an interviewer like myself, and he had a camera and just a mic, and all of a sudden you see Diddy and Usher and Kevin Hart in the same scene, and it's like blows up his career. It seems to say that Kevin later on begins to get movies like Soul Plane when he's a star actress. And, Barry wasn't that much funny at all. A lot of people around that movie was funny, like Simone, good job. Like Monique, third funniest person down from Jesus, like in God. And, so I'm just saying, we got funny people in that movie that made that movie funny. Kevin Hart really didn't do that. And Kevin Hart's wife comes out and says the same thing as Steve. She gave him the idea so much that she's so funny that she gets to tour with Katt Williams. She's so funny. She's touring with Katt Williams. She says she's been knowing him. They're very good friends. And she's like, I have no loyalty to Kevin Hart. He left me once he got some money like Steve. He didn't know me like he got Steve. He went and got a light bright who he would have never got if he wasn't rich like Steve. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing wrong with these beautiful women. It's just the men. The men are the problem. They are vulture, and they vulture on these women. And I feel like at the same time, these women know they're vultures. Like we have Cassidy. Cassidy was hazed, as Orlando Brown said. Orlando Brown says that she was hazed and she knew what the fuck was going on. And, she should get her money and get on. Well, she did get that money. She got on. And, a lot of that is hated on because these men in this circle, a lot of people is going to lose out for this one. If he lose, a lot of people going to lose. And he knows that. So he's keeping his fucking ship, excuse my French, he's keeping his ship very tight. But Curtis right here, Mr. Messi, he ain't letting up. Because he has invented the movie Surviving Diddy. And this is something new because the last surviving one we had was R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, and we all know how that went down. So he has Kim Porter's book information that she was going to let out on him. She also has women and men victims. She has Cassidy. He Curtis has a lot, and he also sick the dog Katt William. So that's why it's going down. Last month we was talking about Diddy. This month we're going to talk about Diddy a little bit more and what his trails and D's and dones and been and trails and things and done. And it's about 50 million to be gay. Allegedly. This is all allegedly. It's about 50 million to be hot and bothered. Because these people, yes, they say the booty calls. The booty calls. I can believe it, the booty calls. Next news, love showstopper TV. Love and peace and hair grease. May God continue to bless us and the world's beautiful. Amen. But the show got a lot of ratchetry. But we ain't going to worry about that because the Lord's good and everything else is better with the Lord. No, the Lord is great and life is better with the Lord.